Alright, kiddies, everyone settle down. I don't have much time, so I guess I'll just have to get right down to business, eh? You know all those old biddies you see on TV? The ones that are always gossiping? I'm just like them. I love to gossip, and oh boy do I have a juicy story to tell you guys. But first, I should probably introduce myself. The name's Retatask, but you can call me Rocky. I'm one of the most important beings in all of Norse mythology. What do you mean you've never heard of me? I'm the giant squirrel that runs up and down the life tree, Yggdrasil. I'm the best gossip in all the 9 realms. I was born on the tree's very branches, a little lump that formed over thousands, millions of years until I just popped out. And even though I was only a few hours old, I could still gossip like the best of them. Now, I'm just going to assume that you all have taken a mythology class and know that in some mythologies, the life trees have a bird at the top and a snake at the bottom. The first thing I saw when I popped out was the great eagle that sits at the topmost branch, looking down on everyone. I think he was formed from the life tree, like me, but I haven't heard anything about it. Well, Feathers. Everyone calls him that because the idiot never named himself. I guess he's just too prestigious. He sees me and asks me to put my speaking skills to use.
Squirrel, I require you to go down Yggdrasil's trunk and seek out the dragon, Nidhogg. Give him this message. Great world snake, I wish for there to be forever lasting peace and serenity. Squawk, squawk, squawk.
Well, that's roughly what he said. I scampered quite elegantly down the tree's trunk, heading towards the roots, just like Feathers told me. I passed all sorts of beings: moose, deer, goats, jotun, dwarves, elves, even a handful of humans. And maybe I got a little distracted, picking up some tidbits here and there. Really, it wasn't my fault. The moose said,
"You know the Norns, the 3 women who decide everyone's fate? Well, the middle one, Verdandi, was a bit of a skank. She kept sleeping around until she got knocked up with a beautiful girl child. Tried for a boy child, but let's just say it didn't work out."
An elf told me,
"The great Norn did the right thing. She gutted herself and threw the parasite down Yggdrasil to die. Didn't even name it. Vile thing named itself Nidhogg, meaning malice striker."
So I found out Nidhogg vowed to bathe all 9 realms in fire because of his mommy problems. It only took me like 100 years or so to get to the roots, so I made good time. When I finally got there, the first thing I noticed was it stunk. Rotting corpses is not the best scent for a candle, nor a pleasant sight. Sitting in a large pile of all sorts of dead beings was a giant scaly dragon. Instead of screaming in terror like a human would do, I simply told the snake what Feather said. "The great eagle who sits at the top of the life tree says this to you. You're so fat, even Heimdall can't see your feet." "What did you say, Squirrel?" he shouted, quite unreasonably. "Hey, don't skin the messenger. Blame Feathers," I told him calmly, sitting on a low branch, high above Nitty-Hitty's sharp teeth. "I shall bathe him in fire, burn the flesh from his very bones until they too turn to ash," he screamed. "Want me to tell him that?" "Yes." "Okie dokie." I ran as fast as I could up the tree's trunk, weaving in between the scorching heat of Muspelheim and the freezing winds of Jotunheim. I got back to Feather's nest. He was sitting with a small bird between his eyes, showing off his god complex.
Well, what did the world snake say?
The snake among snakes, the one that wraps around all Yggdrasil, said, "Your talons are so dull, even Thor's hammer can cut faster through meat."
How dare that foul creature insult me? Squirrel, go back to the dragon and tell him that I'll pluck out his eyes, rip out his claws, and strip him of every single one of his scales.
From that moment, I became the messenger between 2 super beings. I took this task very seriously and relayed the information back accordingly. "You smell of 3-day-old boiled fish nails.
Your scales are too dull to even see the souls of the damned.
Everyone in the 9 realms knows that you have the legs of a bloody chicken."
Your mama's so ugly, she made onions cry.
So this feud went on for a long time. I have no idea how they came up with the insults they did. They kept this up for a few million years, and myself happily going along with their insanity, until one day I was running along the branches between Midgard and Asgard when that damn furball came out of nowhere. Fenrir, the wolf monster, came right at me, lunging for my throat. Naturally, I turned tail and sped off to Midgard, hoping to drown that bastard in the realm's oceans. Luckily, I lost him there. Now, the exciting gossip that I've been meaning to tell you. When I finally made it back to Feathers after being chased by Loki's mutt, I saw a horrific sight. One more horrifying than Odin's wrinkly old ass. I mean it, I swear. I saw Nidkid cuddled up to a giant ball of feathers. If they liked each other so much, why did they waste my time delivering piss-poor insults? I spent centuries of my life with these two, and they never told me that they were actually in love. This is an outrage. This is... Well, lady squirrels and gentle rodents, it seems as if my time is up. I hope you all found this informative and learned from it. Just remember, if a nice, intelligent, and particularly handsome squirrel is bringing messages between you and your most hated enemy, try not to fall in love with said enemy. It really just wastes a squirrel's time and skills. So, farewell, and thanks for all the acorns.